now we'll start creating the COVID tracker action in the Google Assistant console. So for now, we'll go to the Google Assistant console, Google Assistant, developer console. You can just click the first one. So here you can see the details like what is a Google Assistant and the different ways to build the assistant. So you can see that those details, as well as you can find the docs like how to implement or create the actions for the mobile smartphone devices or like for conversational. So you can see the supports as well. So for now we just click on the go to actions console. So once you open the console, like if you are a new user, like you could see like an empty projects here, like you can see one empty page. If you already built something, means you can see the list of projects as well as the channel in which it has been deployed, like whether it is in production or in testing, like alpha or beta, and when it has been modified. So those details you can see it in the dashboard. So we'll first click the new project, and we'll create our action. So we'll name our action as COVID tracker, and then we'll choose the language as English. We'll choose the country India, and we'll create the project. So once you click the create project, you will be shown with three options like whether you want to build the action for the smart home, or you want to create a game action using interactive canvas, or you want to create a custom conversational action. So for this action, like we'll use the custom conversational because we'll be having conversations. So once you select that one, you'll be shown with an options like how do you want to build, like whether you want to build it from scratch or you want to use some existing templates. So there are some different templates available, like for if you're going to build an action for your games using interactive canvas. So you can choose this one, or if you want to create an action which stores the data in firestore, so you can use this action, template. So similarly, there are a list of templates being available. So for this action, we'll do it from scratch. So we'll choose blank project and we'll start building it. So in the background, like this project will be get created in the GCP, Google Cloud Platform, so which we can see now. Now, once the project has been created, you will be shown with these options, list of options like overview, develop, test, deploy, and analytics, as well as like the project name on the right hand side with the list of projects which you have created earlier. If you want to switch, you can switch it from here. There are options like console settings, project settings, like if you want to delete the project, you can use the project settings. So all the notification, like once your action gets approved or it's been having some health issues, will be get notified here. So we'll just click the overview tab. So for creating an action, we'll be having a three-step process. One is naming our action, like this is what how the action should be get invoked. So we'll be naming our action here, and then we'll start building our action. And once it is built, we'll deploy our action here. Like the deployment process will be taken here. So these things we'll see it later. Like for now, we'll start with building our action. So first thing, like we'll name our action, like try to give the name as COVID tracker. And if you want to hear like how your action name will be get pronounced, so you can just click on the play button here. So it will be get played. And if you want to make any changes, you can just click on the modify pronunciation and you can change the pronunciation. So once you click save, so here we'll see like whether the action name has been used by someone else already or not. Yeah, it's been used by someone else. So we'll try to give some other name like day tracker. We'll check whether this name has been taken by someone. It doesn't, so we'll test the action whether it is working smooth or not. So here you can see the action name like which we have given earlier, like day tracker. So once you click on that action name, so here a message has been displayed from the action. So now we'll start looking to those things deeply. So what happens is, like, whenever you call your action by the name, like for example, if you say like okg talk to date tracker, so it will call our action. So the first thing what will happen is, like, so when the user says talk to date tracker, it will call our action, so which will be called. So once it is called, it will be showing this message, like the message which we are building on. So for now we'll just remove this and we'll give some other name like welcome to day tracker. I'll just hit on the save button. So there are two ways we can show the welcome message, either using a prompts or we can use our webhooks here. So we'll be using webhooks for our action because we have to so in the flow we have mentioned, like, so whether it is a new user or existing user, to differentiate that one we'll be using the webhooks. So as of now we'll be using this prompts, so later we'll be changing it to the webhook. So first we'll test whether this name has been reflected, the message has been reflected or not. So we'll reset the test now. Again we'll call the action. So it has been not yet reflected, and it might take some time for to get reflected in the console, I mean test environment. So we'll wait for some time, and meantime we'll just look out things like what's seen and intents. So once this main invocation has been get called, so we are here, we'll be giving our speech, like what should be the message which should be shown to the user, along with, if you want to add suggestions, we can add it on. So once it is done, like once it is added, so from that to which transaction it has to go on, like, so here we have just mentioned as like end the conversation. So this is again a scene. So this is a system scene, like which has been created by the Google Assistant itself. So we can see the list of system scenes which has been created, like a no transition and end conversation. So similarly for the intents, so there will be a default 3 intents, like when the input doesn't match, or there is no input from the user, or when the user clicks on the cancel button. So those are the system intents. So we'll test it again, like whether the changes has been reflected or not. So we'll reset the test. We'll click on so it doesn't reflected yet. So we'll check it here one more time. So it's been changed as welcome to day tracker. So we'll just refresh this page. I think with the new actions builder, like, this is a kind of a bug, like it takes some more time to view the reflections in the test environment. doesn't changes yet. So here, like if you want to debug like what happens in the background, you can see you can just click on this down arrow button. So here you can see the list of options like user input, interaction, match. So what does the user says and to which interaction it has get matched. So what was the response from the interaction, like through speech it has what kind of a message is being shown, and through text what kind of a message is shown. So if you're going to storing some user details, it will be available in this storage. And then like the end conversation. So that there are some changes has been made in the test simulator, like if you have been using Dialog Flow earlier. So here you can see some options like there would be a speech option, like where you can change the text and you can listen to it. Like for example, we'll see an action now. So we'll just so this action has been created using a Dialog Flow. So here if you see like there is a tab with 4 options like request, response, audio and debug. So here we can change the text and we can see like how it works. So we can update those text and we can make the changes here live, but with the new action builder we cannot able to see those options. Maybe it will be available later, like so we'll go back to the action which you are building on. So we'll check the test part one more time. So it doesn't changes yet. We'll see what was the issue, why it is taking too much of time. So the intent has been, the text has been changed and it has been saved and it's been not yet reflected. We'll see how, we'll see, we'll check it one more time, and if it doesn't work, we'll move further. So it doesn't work, like it's just showing the old message. So just see, is there any logs for this changes in Google Cloud? So the conversation has been started and you can see those details in the what was the input has been given. It's not available. So we'll do one thing, we'll just check it one more time, else. Yes, I've defined that invocation and we're not showing that invocation here. So I'll change this one, make you something else. This is a test one. Save this one and we'll see what happens. So it's been not updated yet, so we'll look into that issue. So meantime, we'll just give a default message like welcome to COVID tracker, or instead of COVID we'll just give it as a day tracker since the action name is day tracker. So for now we'll just keep this name as simple, and once we add the webhook, based on that we'll be changing the dialogues. Like if it is a new user, we'll be showing one kind of a message, or else we'll be showing a different set of message. So now we'll test the action one more time. So hope the latest changes will be available. Yes, so it takes some time for update. So now the message which we have given in the main invocation is being get reflected. So now we'll start building the scenes for our action. So the first scene which we are going to build is like once a welcome message has been shown to the user. So the next thing we'll be asking is like did the user has went out today or not. So we'll add a scene like user activity, and then we'll just go to that scene first. So here if you see like it is been not linked with any other scenes, so it just shows like the transition from is not available. So we'll just first we'll link it with the main invocation. So instead of the end conversation, we'll just link it to the user activity scene. So we'll just scroll down. So there is an option called transition. So we'll choose the user activity and hit save. So now if you see in the diagram, like so once the action is get invoked, it will get transited to user activity. So now I'll go to the user activity. So here if you see like from which scene it has been get transited, so that has been updated here. So from the main invocation, this scene has been get called. So now from here, so in the on enter, so like it's like we are entering into a new scene. So what kind of a message should be shown to the user? So we can handle it in two ways, like either with a prompt or with a book. So for now we'll use prompts. So we'll add the prompt like did you went out today. So the now user can say different things like yes I went out, yeah, or different things. So here we'll give us suggestions like a yes or no. So we choose yes. Similarly we'll give one more suggestion like no, and we'll just save this one. So now the prompt has been created, like once this scene is get activated, so this prompts will be shown to the user like did you went out today, and then this message suggestions will be shown to the users. So we'll now check whether this update has been available. So we'll just reset the test. And then we'll call the action. So it doesn't get updated here, so we'll do a trick here. So just click on the settings and enable the development sandbox. So the sandbox is for the financial transactions. For now we'll just enable this one and just reset the test.
Getting the test version of 𝗂𝗓𝗏. Welcome to 𝗂𝗓𝗏. Did you went out today?
So now you can see the update here, like the welcome to 𝗂𝗓𝗏. So this is for a message from the main invocation. After that, the scene has been moved to the user activity. So if you want to see in detail, you just click on this console part or the message part. So here we can see all the message logs here. So what kind of a user input has been given? So first the welcome to 𝗂𝗓𝗏 has been get called. The main invocation scene has been get called. So after that main invocation, it is transited to the user daily activity scene. So here we will be having both the text, like the message from the main invocation plus the message from the user activity scene. So after that we'll be having suggestions. So once after on enter, it is waiting for the user input. So now we'll add the logics for the yes and no suggestions. So we'll go back to the development again. So for now, when the user says yes, we have to handle it using an intent. So we'll go to an intent here. We just click here. So there is no existing, there is no intent. So we'll create one new intent, like named as yes. So if you see here in the intents tab, there is an intent named yes. So we'll add the training phrases for this intent. So user may say yes, yep, yep, I went out, I went, I have gone. So these are some of the training phrases. Like you can add a good set of training phrases like for your action. So it's better to have more than 10 training phases for every intent, so it will be a good fit for your action. So it can be get called, it can be get matched up easily. So now we have added the training phrases. So we'll just go here. So when the yes intent is being get matched, so we'll now save this one. So but we could see an error here, like a event handler for scene has an empty function call or empty transition. So now we'll handle that part. So when this yes intent is get matched, so we have to show a message or we have to transit to another scene. So for now we'll show a message. So like user click yes, we'll just give a try, or else we will create another scene for this yes intent. So we'll check whether this part is getting worked or not. So now the error has been gone. So we'll now cancel this action, close the logs and reset the test. Then we'll check here whether that logic has been updated, this test environment.
Welcome to 𝗂𝗓𝗏. Did you went out today?
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you try again?
Okay, the intent has been not updated here. Just we'll do the trick one more time and see. So just go to the settings, click on the development sandbox. So now we'll test it one more time.
Here's the test version of 𝗂𝗓. Welcome to 𝗂𝗓. Did you went out today?
Yes.
User clicked yes.
Okay, now we can see the update here. Like when the user clicks the yes button, so it shows the prompt which we have created. User clicked yes. So instead of this, we can handle it with our webhooks, or we can transit to a new scene. So that we'll handle it now. So we'll transit to a new scene. So similarly, we'll handle no case also. So we'll add one more scene as like one more intent named no. So here for this no intent, so we'll just mention like user click no and save that action. So we'll go to the no intent. So we'll add the training phrases for the no intent. So the user might say no. So did you went out today? Not yet. Did you went out today? No, I didn't went out. Did you went out today? Nowhere. No, sorry. I'll change it to no. Okay, I think we will add one more phrase. And one more phrase like no, I didn't. So it's already there, but we'll just add one more phrase. So now when the user selects no, so we'll be showing this message like user clicked no. So again we'll test this part. So we'll reset the test first. Then we'll do the trick. We'll go and enable the sandbox. So this is the only way we can able to see the live testing. Live changes as of now, because like earlier we could able to do it. We don't want to do any this kind of a thing. But now, since with the new actions, we have to do this kind of thing. No. Okay, this part has been working fine now. So what we will do next is like instead of playing with these prompts, we'll do it with the webhooks. So like when the user from the main invocation, we will call the webhook and check whether the user is a new user or not, and then we'll show the messages accordingly, and then we'll match it to the next scene, that is the user activity. So we'll start adding the webhooks for this action. So first we'll create a cloud function for this one. So in the next now we'll see how to create a function for our action.